as he led a contingent of horsemen into the city. "A trap?" asked Artaban. "I fear something else entirely." He raised his hand. His men halted in the agora, looking down the empty streets on all sides. Before his departure from Sardis, King Cyrus had appointed Tabulus to govern the newly conquered city in his stead. Tabulus's guards could easily have crushed the insurrection, as small as it was. So why have we not seen any of his guards on the streets? Perhaps the governor is part of it. Let us hope not. Magos, take charge. If there is any evidence that the rebels are regrouping, end it. Artaban, bring back one of those rebels, alive. And where will you be? Artaban asked. I intend to find out whether the king's trust in Tabulus has been misplaced. As his officers took off in opposite directions, Mazares and a handful of his horsemen rode to the Acropolis, only to discover the palace guards sprawled on their backs in front of the great carved cedar doors, both standing wide open. Dead, Mazares said. Find Tabulus. He strode past the guards, down the long hall into the throne room. A few minutes later, 2 officers returned, escorting the frightened governor between them. Dressed in nightclothes, Tabulus, attempting to regain his magisterial dignity, scrambled onto the throne. "Well met, General Mazares. I prayed that you would arrive in time," he said. "Who is behind all this?" "I cannot say. My spies were thwarted at every turn, one even impaled. I managed to get a messenger out moments before the rebels besieged the Acropolis." One of Mazares' men nodded. "The governor speaks the truth. We found him bound to his bed, and his chamber door barred from the outside. The rest of the palace staff was shut up in the scroll room." None of this makes sense. Mazares paced across the polished marble floor, trying to fit the pieces together, certain there must be something they were all overlooking. An answer of sorts finally came when Artaban returned, dragging one of the rebels into the palace. He threw him to the ground at the base of the dais. "Tell your governor what took place here tonight." The man, groveling on hands and knees, lifted his head, swallowing past a lump in his throat as he looked at the disheveled governor. "We were paid, generously, to burn what was left of the buildings near the city gates." Mazares noted the soot on the man's face and clothing. "Who paid you?" "I know them not." Artaban drew his knife and held it to the rebel's neck. "I swear," he said, his eyes beseeching. "The one thing I can tell you, they were not from Sardis. They were not even Lydian." "How do you know?" Mazares asked. "One had a boar's head tattooed on his upper arm." "A boar's head?" Mazares asked. "Are you certain?" The man nodded. Samian pirates. The marauding Samian ships were notorious, not only for their red ochre hulls and scarlet sails, but also for their boar's head prows. What would Samians be doing in Lydia? If anything, Tabulus appeared even more shaken. "I fear I may know something about that, but it is best said in private." Mazares nodded. The guards removed the rebel, leaving Mazares and Artaban alone with the governor. 2 nights ago, the governor said, one of my spies informed me that he saw Pactius meeting with a few Samians. Pactius, a Lydian, was the newly appointed overseer of the imperial mint and gold refineries, a position bestowed upon him by King Cyrus. Although Mazares had counseled the king against such an appointment, Cyrus insisted that a Lydian figurehead was necessary to prevent the newly conquered Lydians from revolting once the Persian army left. "You're certain of what you saw?" "I am. I even conducted a surprise inspection at the mint yesterday morning, but I found nothing amiss." Mazares and Artaban exchanged glances. One of the rebel fires was near the mint. "Get dressed. Order your grooms to ready your horse," Mazares said. "For what purpose?" Tabulus asked, descending the throne. "To confront Pactius." "He will only deny everything, as he did with me." "Then we shall determine what is truth and what is not," Mazares said, a feeling of dread coursing through his veins. "To the royal mint." Less than 10 minutes later.